All of the Trump supporters are having a total meltdown right now over the new pope not liking Trump and JD Vance. It really is just so funny to watch them freak out over this. Like Laura Loomer, for example, one of Trump's biggest fans, immediately responded to the pope saying, "Woke Marxist pope." They're just throwing in buzzwords at this point. Sean Davis, who is super MAGA, said the new pope seems to be anti-Trump and pro-open borders. Megyn Kelly went from really happy to really sad. She said, "Praise God, this is exciting," at the news of the pope being selected, and then said, "Is it too much to hope that some 20-year-old ran the new pope's X account and he never looked at it?" I mean, they're just coping right now. Laura Loomer again said he's anti-Trump, anti-MAGA, pro-open borders, and a total Marxist like Pope Francis. Catholics don't have anything good to look forward to, just another Marxist puppet in the Vatican. Again, throwing around buzzwords. If you ask Laura Loomer to define any of these words, she wouldn't be able to. She'd have to open a dictionary, presuming that she'd be able to read it. Joey Manorino, who is one of the strangest guys on the internet, had a multi-post meltdown over it. And finally, this lunatic said, "This is so bad," in response to the news. As I said, it's just so funny to watch them freak out over the new pope. I've enjoyed every single second of it.
MAGA has been having a full-on toddler-level temper tantrum on the internet over the new selection of the Pope. Cardinal Robert Prevost, the first American Pope who now goes by Pope Leo, has got MAGA completely fuming. Leading MAGA figures like Looney Laura, Jack Poserbeck, and Charlie Cuck have been calling him things like a woke Marxist, anti-Trump globalist. They are so mad that he supports George Floyd and open borders. And it probably doesn't help that he was born in Chicago and is a naturalized Peruvian citizen. And it probably really doesn't help that he retweeted a post that was criticizing the deportation of Kilmar Garcia. He included a quote that said, "Do you not see the suffering? Is your conscience not disturbed? How can you stay quiet?" Apparently, the Vatican has already called Trump in regards to this whole situation, and you have JD Vance trying to make peace offerings to the Pope. I think these MAGA influencers may have pissed off the wrong people. I myself am not a super religious person, but there is one thing that I do know, and that is that you leave the Pope alone.
So we all know that there is a new Pope, and that's great. Doesn't affect me, but good for the Pope. What does affect me, potentially, concerning the new Pope, are the people talking about the new Pope. You see, as soon as the new Pope was announced, people in American politics, for some reason, couldn't stop talking about the Pope. And it was one side of American politics that caught my eye. People like this guy. Pope Leo is not an American, he's a Democrat. And let's not forget Laura Loomer. She said, "This is the new Pope. He's the first American Pope. He is anti-Trump, anti-MAGA, pro-open borders, and total Marxist like Pope Francis. Catholics don't have anything good to look forward to, just another Marxist puppet in the Vatican." Now, I don't know if being pro-open borders is specifically mentioned in the Bible, but we all know it is very un-Christ-like to be welcoming to strangers and to treat them well, right? Again, for those of us who have read the Bible, James, Matthew, Deuteronomy, Leviticus, any of those, they all clearly state to be as cruel as possible to strangers, to never welcome foreigners into your land. In fact, one of the commandments, I'm pretty sure, is "Thou shalt deport to Sikot." Anyway, joking aside, the reason why MAGA is losing their minds over this new Pope is because the Pope has influence over 1.3 billion Catholics. It's hard to push a religious fundamental political movement when the head of the Catholic Church thinks your movement is garbage. Look at the elections in Germany. Look at the elections in Canada. Look at the elections in Australia. And now, look at the election in the Vatican. Far-right, conservative MAGA extremism is on the sharp decline worldwide, and that makes them very, very nervous.
A new pope has been elected, and it's causing a major stir, not just inside the Catholic Church, but also in American politics. Pope Leo XIV, the first American-born pope. You'd think Trump supporters would be celebrating, right? But no, instead, they are furious. And why? Because this new pope doesn't seem to align with their values, and they are calling him quote-unquote anti-MAGA. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, my name is Rosemary. Kindly consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Before we get to the video, let me play a few clips on the same, and I'll be back with my commentary. All credit goes to the original creators of these videos.
Well friends, the MAGA movement is in full meltdown. This time, over the Pope. Yep, the Pope. Pope Leo XIV, the first American ever chosen to lead the Catholic Church, dared to speak compassion. He dared to defend immigrants, dared to say Jesus doesn't ask us to rank who we love. And now Trump's loyalists are calling him a woke Marxist. Laura Loomer and her gang are attacking the Pope for standing with dreamers and calling out racist rhetoric like, quote, bad hombres. Imagine being so far gone, so morally bankrupt, that kindness, decency, and faith are now anti-MAGA. Let me be clear. If your movement can't tolerate compassion from the Pope, your movement, it's not Christian. It's cultish. And Donald Trump, who claims this is a, quote, great honor for our country, is standing by while his followers smear a man of God for daring to care. This is the crossroads we're at in America. Hate versus hope, cruelty versus compassion. I choose compassion. I choose dignity, and I will fight for a country where love, justice, and humanity still matter. Let's vote like it. Let's save our democracy. Are you ready to stand with me? My name is Doug Kuhn, and I'm a Democrat congressional candidate in California's 3rd District. Please share this video, follow me, and donate to my congressional campaign. Link is down below and also my profile. Thank you so much for your support.
Well, that didn't take very long now, did it? MAGA cannot stand the new Pope. They're already out there. Laura Loomer is posting that he's a DEI and whatever, lib. And Charlie Kirk, he's spouting off. So all the MAGA people are just up in arms that the new Pope that was just named today, they don't like him. They're online. You can look all over the place. They're saying nasty things about it. They're calling him a left-wing, lib, and all the other bad names that they try to associate with being, whatever, Democratic-leaning. So it hasn't even been a full day, and Catholics around the world are celebrating the naming of a new pope. And it's the first time an American's been named pope. But MAGA is having nothing to do with it, and they are just fit to be tied. Which, bless their hearts.
Now, let's break down what's really going on. Pope Leo XIV, formerly known as Cardinal Robert Prevost, is originally from Chicago. He's known for being kind, thoughtful, and deeply focused on compassion, social justice, and unity. He has a strong history of standing up for immigrants and the poor. During the Trump years, he publicly criticized harsh immigration politics like separating families at the U.S. border. He also spoken out against nationalism and right-wing populism. And this is exactly why MAGA world is mad. Right-wing influencers are already attacking the Pope online. Far-right activists like Laura Luna called him a quote-unquote Marxist and quote-unquote anti-Trump. Others are accusing him of being quote-unquote woke, globalist, and even anti-American, even though he's literally American. Some are even claiming that he's part of a global conspiracy to silence conservative voices. Former Trump's advisor Steve Bannon, who is Catholic himself, has warned that there will be major conflict between Pope Leo XIV and Donald Trump if Trump wins again. He believes the new Pope is part of a movement pushed back against right-wing power. In short, MAGA supporters don't see Pope Leo XIV as one of their own. Instead, they see him as part of the problem. But here's the thing. The Pope isn't supposed to be a political figure for any party, left or right. The job of the Pope is to lead the Catholic Church with moral clarity, care for the poor and the vulnerable, and bring people closer to God. And from what we have seen so far, that's exactly what Pope Leo XIV is trying to do. He's not calling for open borders or socialism. He's calling for kindness, justice, and unity, something the world needs right now. In his first address as Pope, he didn't mention any country, any leader, or any political party. He talked about peace, love, and how we all need to help one another suffering. He called for people to stop being so divided and start acting like we are all in this together. But for some Trump supporters, that message feels like a threat. Why? Because their political movement is built on division. It's built on blaming immigrants, attacking the media, and claiming that Christianity belongs to conservatives. So when a religious leader, especially a Catholic one, says, love your neighbor, and actually means all neighbors, some people get uncomfortable. This is not the first time MAGA world has clashed with the Pope. Pope Francis, the previous leader, was also criticized by conservatives for similar reasons. He spoke out on climate change, economic inequality, and immigration too. But now that an American is saying these things, the backlash is even louder. It's almost like MAGA supporters expected an American Pope to automatically side with them, and they are shocked that he did it. But let's believe, Pope Leo XIV didn't become Pope to support or oppose Trump. He was chosen because of his leadership, his compassion, and his dedication to the church. His job is not to please the right or the left. His job is to lead over 1 billion Catholics around the world through love, not hate. And still, the reaction from MAGA shows us just how political everything has become, even religion. If a pope talks about helping refugees, it's called quote-unquote work. If he mentions poverty, people say he's so socialist. And if he dares to challenge Trump's policies, they say he's part of the deep state. It's wild how quickly compassion can be twisted into a political weapon. Now, let's be clear. Not all conservatives or Trump supporters are angry at the Pope. There are many Catholics who vote Republicans and still respect the new Pope. But the louder voices, the influencers, the media figures, the politicians who drive on outrage are the ones making headlines, and they are trying to turn a spiritual leader into a political enemy. At the end of the day, this shows us how toxic American politics has become. Even something as sacred as the election of a pope becomes part of the culture. Instead of seeing the new pope as a chance for peace, healing, and unity, some people are using his election to spread more fear and division. If Pope Leo XIV is reminding us to care about the poor, to welcome strangers, and to love each other, maybe we should listen. That's not left or right, that's just humanity. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.